It's Wednesday the 3rd of August and welcome to From the South. An estimated 500,000 visitors will arrive in Rio de Janeiro before the Olympic Games start this Friday. However, Rio is rife with problems, from the recession to forced evictions and constant protests. These have caused many to question the success of the Games. The threat of extremist attacks has also caused concern, leading to the deployment of 85,000 police and other personnel. The number is over twice the amount of police deployed at the London 2012 Games. The Olympic torch passed through Guanabara Bay before arriving in Rio de Janeiro ahead of the Olympic Games this week. However, a series of protests against public spending on the Olympics forced the Olympic torch relay to divert its route after the protesters clashed with police, who used tear gas and arrested at least 2 people. In the midst of the Olympics, supporters of both sides of Brazilian politics have been protesting. Former President Lula da Silva has vowed to continue fighting against the illegitimate government of Michel Temer and will continue to support Dilma Rousseff before running again in 2018. Authorities located and destroyed 104 cocaine processing laboratories in the jungle regions of Guaviare and Meta. The operation was coordinated between the Colombian Air Force and the National Police. Together, they seized cocaine paste, liquid and solid supplies. They also arrested 3 suspects. A spokesman alleges that the FARC had been profiting from the facilities. The government and the FARC are expected to sign a final peace deal later this year. Still in Colombia, women have been celebrating World Breastfeeding Week by performing a tetazo. The women gathered in Bogotá and breastfed their children in public. They followed other communities in South America, asking for an end to the social stigma and censorship of public breastfeeding. In light of the ruling by CNE, which moved forward the recall referendum, President Nicolas Maduro has come out fighting. During his weekly television program, Maduro states that the recall referendum will not happen in 2016, and if the opposition are able to acquire the 4 million signatures required for the recall, he will hold elections next year. Heavy monsoon rains have continued to cause destruction across India. Flash floods have buried hundreds of villages and have left 200 confirmed dead and over 7 million displaced. Floods and landslides are common in India during the monsoon season. One of India's foreign ministers visited Saudi Arabia in an effort to support roughly 10,000 stranded Indian workers within the country. The workers have not been paid for months and are unable to travel home. Earlier this month, the Indian government sent 15 tons of food to aid its citizens as the Saudi government were unwilling to provide support. The 16th October group in the Gaza Strip organized a sit-in protest on Wednesday at Gaza's harbour, marking 2 years of Israel's deadly offensive against the embattled coastal region in the summer of 2014. The participants urged the international community to boycott Israel and bring it to justice for the crimes it committed against Palestinians during the deadly war.
The 16th October Youth Group in the Gaza Strip organized a sit-in protest Wednesday at Gaza's harbour, marking 2 years of Israel's deadly offensive against the embattled coastal region in the summer of 2014. The participants urged the international community to boycott Israel and bring it to justice for the crimes it committed against Palestinians during the deadly war.
We have been through really hard times during the war. We can't describe how hard things were. We want to live in peace. Everyone has their own dream that everything must change.
16 October is a Palestinian youth group composed of hundreds of young political and human rights activists, which aims to present the Palestinian cause and issues to the Westerns in an objective way, in an attempt to change the stereotypical image about Palestinians in foreign media. Israel launched Operation Protective Edge in the Gaza Strip on July 8, 2014. The war lasted for 51 consecutive days, during which time more than 2,200 Palestinians were killed. The majority were civilians. Over 11,000 people were reportedly injured and tens of thousands of buildings were partly or completely destroyed. Nuhazin teleSur's TV, Gaza.
The Parliament of Nepal elected former communist Pushpa Kamal Dahal. The newly installed Prime Minister is known as Prachanda and was previously elected as Prime Minister in 2008. He won 363 votes of 573 votes cast and was elected unopposed. South Africans today have been voting in local elections. However, there are fears that the ruling party and Nelson Mandela's former party, the African National Congress, or ANC, could lose control of key cities within the country, in what will be the first time since the end of apartheid. The first results will be expected tomorrow morning, with final nationwide results expected on Friday. Although the Olympic Games have yet to kick off, as per usual, preliminary events are held before the opening ceremony, and fans have started to arrive for the first matches of the Olympics. The women's teams of South Africa, Sweden, Brazil and Russia will play in 2 games this evening. More on this and other stories on our website telesurtv.net/English.